We'll start the webinar in around 15 minutes, right at 4. Thank you so much for joining in. Meanwhile, if you have any questions about legal research or the webinar, please feel free to write it in the chat box or the question and answers. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll be starting very shortly. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to write it in the chat window. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Till then, if you have any queries, any questions, please feel free to post it in the chat window or the Q&A. Thank you so much for joining in. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll be starting with the webinar now. So, first of all, I welcome all of you to this webinar on your cheat sheet for faster, relevant legal research. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out on a Friday to join us. We really hope that this webinar will be helpful for you. So, getting into it straight away. So for today's agenda, these are the things that we are going to look at. First of all, how do you navigate faster on Manupatra? How do you use the various filters, sorters, keywords to navigate better on Manupatra, find relevant results faster? Then how do you identify the relevant judgments according to your proposition? What are the visualization tools available on Manupatra that make your legal research simpler, especially by providing you the results in a more visual, graphic, explainable format? Also, how do you find the relevant precedent? How do you organize your research, share the research faster? What are the flags available on Manupatra, which is essentially, what other features do we provide in terms of icons and alerts that we do? Furthermore, how do you better read bare acts and statutes on Manupatra? And lastly, the search and judge analytics feature that we offer, which is a Manupatra exclusive. So again, throughout the webinar, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write it in the chat window or in the Q&A section. I have my colleague Abhay here with me. He'll be taking all your questions as you raise them, or if it's something elaborate, I'll be taking it towards the end of the session, whatever questions you have. So now we'll start with it. So first of all, the purpose of this webinar is to communicate how do you research in minimum time, but without compromising on the qualities. So how do you provide the maximum coverage and data? Let's begin. First of all, I'll just quickly walk you through the filters and sorters that we offer, especially because when you're searching a proposition, it's really important that suppose we have a mix of professionals and students here. So suppose as a professional, if you're practicing in the Delhi High Court, and for the first round of your research, you want to just look at the Delhi High Court judgments or the Supreme Court judgments. So while you're entering your proposition, you can just select those courts. If you are looking for a specific judge, if you're looking specifically after a particular year, post 2010 and forwards, if you're looking at a, select bench strength. Now, ordinarily, what you would do is you would write a proposition, you would search, and later on, you would either go through the judgment to find this or apply for this. So the point to be communicated here is that these are all the filters that we offer in Manupatra, and you can select them while you run your proposition, run your research, and you will get exactly relevant research just according to your proposition. Furthermore, for students, I would like to highlight here that we also have a filter called article. So when you're writing a research paper, and for the first round of research, you don't want to look at judgments or documents per se, you just want to look at other scholarly articles. So on Manupatra, you can just select this filter and do this. Furthermore, what are the sorters that we offer? So in sorters, we provide you decision date, the newest judgment, the oldest judgment, according to court names, if how many times the judgment has been cited in. So what this does, it also gives you a idea in terms of relevance by using these, or if you want the latest judgment on the issue. Suppose you did a similar case or a case on the same topic 2 years ago. You have an account of, the judgments that were there. You want the most recent judgment. Just use this filter and one go, you'll have it. So firstly, I'll just show this to you on the website, and then we can move on with the other bits and parts of the presentation. I'll quickly share my screen with you. I'll log into my Manupatra ID. So this is again a snapshot of all the cool features that we offer. Now I'll just run a quick search and walk you through all the filters that I just explained. I'll run the search for gender justice. Common, we have a lot of students here as well. So to keep it simple for them, as you can see, we got all the relevant results, around 7,319. Vishaka again is, the most prominent judgment on gender justice. So that comes as your first result. Again, how do you filter them? Suppose I just want to look at the judgments from the Supreme Court, or I'm just looking at a period which is 2010 and above, or I just want to look at, I'm a student, I just want to look at articles, or just want to look at, business policy documents. I can select that as well. I just want to see, on the topic based on the department where it's from, or the publisher, or, the judge strength. I want a very strong or, a higher judge bench for the case I'm fighting, or for the research paper I'm writing. I can do that. Or I can select which articles, which journals have, quoted gender justice around. So these are all the sorters, filters that we offer. Again, if I have right now sorted my results by relevance, I can again choose any of the other heads and use that to filter my, to filter my results further. Now, I hope that this part, the first point, was clear for everyone. If you have any questions, or if you would like for me to revisit anything, please feel free to write it in the chat window. Abessa will prompt me, and then I can take it here again. So now, swiftly moving on. Now, once you have all the results, how do you identify your relevant results even after you have set the filter? Suppose for Supreme Court also, if I just had to look at Supreme Court discussing gender justice, there were 144 judgments. So manually, it's not possible to go through all of them. Also, the idea here is to reduce research time as much as possible. So how do we achieve that? We have these features that we offer. The first is MPara, which shows key paragraphs of a judgment on the basis of the number of times it has been referred to in the, other judgments. This again, I'll show you on the website in a live demo. But what this feature does is that if you go through the judgment, you've written your query, the judgment shows you the highlighted portion that, okay, exactly this is where it's been discussed. You see the paragraph number, you click on MPara. You can just see where that paragraph has been referred further. You can see which judgment it has been there. You can read the judgment also on the same window. It's extremely simple to use, provides you a lot of information, does not require you to run multiple queries again and again and again to highlight Manupatra and or to run your proposition. And from just one feature on Manupatra, you can get all this information. Other feature that I would like to talk about is cited in para. Now the difference here is that like MPara provides you in a full window view. A new window would open, you can see as many judgments as you want. Where the case has been discussed, the same judgment would appear there. All of it is in that window. However, if you're not that sure on the judgment that you're reading and you're not sure how much it is relevant to your proposition, how do you move forward with it? You go to cited in para. Cited in para provides you a tabular list of all the cases where the incumbent case has been cited further. Once you click on a case, you see the exact paragraph which was cited. It is hyperlinked if you want to read the judgment further. Again, it's chronological, so you can see what was the most recent judgment where it has been discussed. Again, giving you a better idea on how the research is going or what the research trend currently is for your proposition. The next is people who opened this judgment also. So I'm sure on e-commerce websites and everywhere you would have seen this feature that if you're checking out a product, what were the other products that people also saw. Similarly, research trends can be similar. So the Manupatra algorithm, using its technology, deciphers these legal trends and then presents to you in the form of this feature. Once you just click on this, you'll get a list of, from this judgment, which other judgments did, other people who were researching on Manupatra. Again, if you are lost with your, proposition and not getting exactly what you're looking for, your facts are new, whatever. So in that case, this is again a feature that you can turn to. Again, furthermore, we provide visualization tools on Manupatra. Now, essentially what it is that when you're getting results in a tabular form or in a text form, collating 20 judgments, 30 judgments, a huge number of judgments, going through their facts, trying to, establish the relation between all of them can be very difficult. Now, what our features do is, case map is the first feature. So it gives you a visualization of 20 most relevant case laws while also highlighting it. Suppose Vishaka case discussed Nilavati Behral. But if I did not have and if I open the case map, I can directly see that okay, Nilavati Behra was. Also, Vishaka was mentioned in Puttuswamy case in the right to privacy. Now, all this information, if I had to, get by just running searches and search propositions, it would take me hours before I even reach that conclusion. With case map, just click on one feature, you can see all the cases that was cited in the particular judgment, which was affirmed, which was mentioned by different colored arrows. Furthermore, where the present case was cited in the future. And again, what treatment it was afforded. Now, what this essentially does is it provides you a whole lot of information in a concise visualization form that is easy to understand, comprehend, and read. Furthermore, everything is hyperlinked. So you're not, entering multiple windows, you're not opening new windows, new folders. Everything is in one place. Furthermore, the most difficult thing or the biggest roadblock, that takes away the fun out of legal research or, your energy, what drains is running the same proposition again and again on a search interface and trying to, get different results, change words and seek, okay, which will hit, which is a, common thing that lawyers face, students face, interns face everywhere. What Manupatra through these features does is it eliminates that. You open one judgment, you open one window, you run one search query, and everything else that you need on the proposition, you can find it there. So now moving on from the case map, we have this interactive timeline authority check feature. Now, again, this shows you how many times the subject case has been cited in various courts. With the date of decision, you can see the trend, year wise. If there were a lot of cases on arbitration, suppose in, 1940, when the act came, not really. 1996, the second act came. What changes did it bring? How did it affect in the number of cases filed, disposed? Again, you can see this court wise, which case was there in the Supreme Court, which were there in the High Court. You again, the number of times it has been cited forward denotes the size of the circle. So a lot of features, a lot of information condensed into, just a visualization. Not just this, with interactive timeline, you also get a tabular form for the judgments. Everything covered in just one. Moving on, how do you now? All these were where the judgment has been cited in future, or which cases were cited in the incumbent judgment that I'm looking at. What if I want to know the history of the case? I found this judgment, but what was discussed in previous judgments before. One is the citing reference. For that same case, you can see how many cases were mentioned there, which was affirmed, which was discussed, which was dissented, distinguished, mentioned. Again, all these are clickable features in the sense that when I click on discussed, I'll see all the 4 judgments that it's talking about. If I want to read any of them, it's again hyperlink. So the platform runs smoothly, your legal research runs smoothly. Again, for the case map, you can find the relevant precedents from there as well. How? Because it mentions cases which have been, discussed in the incumbent judgment that you're looking at. Also, it denotes through the different colors of the lines what the treatment was. So again, eliminating the need to, go through pages and pages and pages of judgment just to find that one feature or one fact on where it is. Moving on. All the features that I mentioned were regarding, finding more judgments on the same proposition, getting more and more results. But while that is important, it's also important that as you're going through your legal research, you can organize the same and you can share wherever you want. So for that, what does Manupatra offer you? One is that we have unlimited copy paste with citation auto paste. Essentially, if you copy something from the Manupatra website and paste it in a quote, in a document, in a Word doc, anywhere, the citation of the judgment or the document would automatically be pasted there. So you don't have to, copy again or go through that process. Furthermore, there's no requirement to download a judgment, download a PDF, then open it, or a word limit on these are the only number of words you can copy to it. What this helps you is essentially, organize your research very well. Second thing that we offer is print replica or print in PDF. Now, these are 2 separate features. Print replica gives you the exact code copy of the judgment. Okay, so how do you get that? That you get from, like, we have downloaded the judgments from the court website, from the Juris website, and the exact copy is available. So you don't have to look anywhere else. You don't have to, find a judgment, or if you're looking for the exact court copy, go there. You can download it from here. That's the truest copy that you can submit in any court. You can submit in any mood. Again, very, very helpful for you. The next feature is email from Manupatra. So lawyers, students working on a mood, even on a research paper, you have a co. You're never researching in isolation. You want to share something with either a client or a research associate. Ideally, you would have to download the judgment, open your email folder, attach it, write a message, and then you have to send it. That's 5 added processes. On Manupatra, just click on this link. You can just put the email ID of the person you want to send it to. You can put the text that you want to send alongside it. The judgment is automatically attached. Just click on send and the mail goes. Nothing else requires to be done. It's a 2-step process from the same window where you are at, eliminating again a lot of steps, also saving a lot of time. Furthermore, if you just want to download and print a document or a judgment in Word, you can easily do that. Just click on this one button. Furthermore, if you want to highlight something in a judgment that you're reading, or you want to add a comment there, the sticky note feature on Manupatra enables you to do that. Also, these sticky notes, these comments would be saved, and you can print them out together whenever you want. So again, no more printing out pages using 500 post-its, writing them, post-its keep falling out, notes keep getting missing, keep missing, gets missing. All of that is completely eliminated with this feature. Furthermore, suppose you're working on a case and a hearing is postponed. Now that case is going to come 3 months later. In the meanwhile, you're still researching for it. Would you every time, run the same query? That's too much work. You've run the query once, you've run your research once, you've found, what you were looking for. Even if not just, if you've posted a query, use this feature, which is the save search or set alert. You can select the timeline till which date you want it, and every time a new judgment is uploaded, which is relevant to your proposition, you'll automatically get a mail, a notification, regarding that. That again reduces so much, burden, research time, all of that. Again, a feature that you can definitely use, to make your research simpler, faster. Now I understand this was a lot of explanation. Now I'll quickly show you all these features on our website. So as we had, run the gender justice search. So again, Vishaka is the most prominent judgment on this. I'll just open that and, show from here only. Just to quickly share, cited in Manupatra is how many times the judgment has been further cited on Manupatra. If you click on it, it would show you all those results if you want to go through them, anything. Furthermore, if you want to refine your research right here, you can use certain results near each other, all those features. Now moving on to all the icons and the features that I just showed you on the PPT. We'll open this judgment. Now this judgment is open, gender justice in the proposition that has been highlighted throughout the judgment. First of all, I'll walk you through all the features. So firstly, Empara. Now if I click on it, it opens a separate window. Abhay sir, is the new window visible?
Yes, ma'am, I can see that.
Okay, so
The important paragraph.
okay. So again, as I just explained, that all the important paragraphs of the judgment, now how do we decide on which paragraph is important? It's decided on where it has been, like how many times it has been cited for. Okay. So now this particular paragraph, I'll just click on it. It would, come in the top bar here. The international conventions and norms are to be read. So now, where has this been cited further? If it has been cited further, that means that judgment is also relevant to my proposition. Now I want to read, in Taru Khurana where it has been cited. I just click on that judgment. That judgment appears here. I can just go through this. Okay, this mentions it. What are the facts? What does it mention above that? What does it mention below that? And just through that, I can just scroll here and see for the judgment. Now if I feel that okay, this judgment might be relevant to my proposition, I'll click on this icon here and I can open this judgment in a fresh window, the full judgment. I can again use all these features again there and start like carry on my research. Now again, you don't have to enter a research query twice on one. Coming back, the other feature that I showed to you was cited in para. Now, as I explained, cited in para provides you a chronological view. Okay, so Vishaka and others versus the state of Rajasthan. It was cited in courts and tribunals. Mind you, the cited in Manupatra was how many times it has been cited, including articles, journals, documents. Here we are just looking at the cases. So 499 times it has been cited, and the last time it was cited was in Ganesh Das and others for the Calcutta High. I can just click on this plus icon. I can see where it was cited, what the paragraph was. If I want to read it further, I can just click on this hyperlink here and the judgment will directly open. I don't have to look for a judgment again, search a judgment again, anything of that sort. Furthermore, if I want to see for any other case, I can just keep doing it. All the 499 judgments are listed here. I don't have to open any further the search queries, nothing. Again, I can sort these out. While this is displayed in a chronological order, if I sort it out, I can sort it out, from the oldest judgment that was cited to the most recent. Moving on, the other feature that we discussed was people who viewed this judgment also, as in, what are the research trends regarding to the proposition that you're looking at. So the first, from that, these three results have come. Again, you can scroll down and see, okay, what other judgments were there, which people opened from the same. You can, again, these are all hyperlinked. Just click on them. The next judgment would open. You can carry on your research, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, moving on, other features that we discussed were the visualization tools that are available. First was the case map. I'll just open the case map and let it load. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please keep writing them in the chat window. So as I explained, this provides you an overview of the cases about, relevant to the incumbent case. If I go to the center, I can see the details of the incumbent case, the case note, the number of times it has been cited, and so on. Furthermore, it also shows me the treatment of the case in further cases or the previous ones. Now, this was cited in the Puttaswamy case, the right to privacy case. Now it shows a yellow arrow. I'll just open the legend here and show you that the yellow arrow means discussed. So this means that this case was discussed in the Puttaswamy case. The dark green shows that this case was relied upon. Now, in this particular case, Union of India, and I'll just click on because I know that Vishaka was relied on in that case, as in it was the same proposition. There's a fair chance it was the same. Now I can see that, okay, in this case, Union of India and others versus Association for Democratic Reforms. Again, I can see the case note here if I want to read. Furthermore, I get an overview of all the cases. So in this particular case, these were the cases that were relied on. These are the cases where it has been further relied on, discussed. In common cause, it was discussed. In PUCL, it was again, relied upon. Other, and not just this, if there are other cases from the case of same case map that have a correlation here, that's also shown. Again, I get it. It's an intense feature to look at. And again, it's very popular among our clients. So if you have any further questions or this, or if you want me to show something else, please write it in the chat. The other feature that we discussed in visualization tools was interactive timeline authority check. I'll just give it a second to load. Now for Vishaka and others versus state of Rajasthan, it would show you first on yes, sir?
The interactive timeline feature did not open. So if you can just share your screen again.
Okay, so you can't see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so just. Now is it better?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can see that.
Okay.
Also, if you can show the case map again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
First, I'll just show the case map again and then I'll get to this. So this is how the case map looks like. In the center, it is the case for which you've opened the case map. If I just scroll over on the case name, I can see the case note relevant to it. Now, all the judgments around it have either been like the ones on the left side are the ones that have been discussed, affirmed, relied on, whatever treatment has been afforded in the Vishaka case. On the right side, the judgments that we see is where Vishaka has been referred forward. So now I know that Justice Puttaswamy case is the right to privacy case. So for that, I know, okay, there is some correlation between the cases and the line says yellow. If I had to understand it, I'll just go to the legend. I can see that, okay, yellow denotes discussed. That means Vishaka and others versus state of Rajasthan and others was discussed in the right to privacy case. Now I see that in Union of India versus Association of Democratic Reforms, there's a dark green line, which coordinates to the fact that it was relied, like Vishaka was relied on in this case. If it was relied on, there's a stronger connection. I want to check out if it's on the same proposition that I'm looking at. I'll click on it. The case map for that particular case would open. Again, I can see that, okay, there are a lot of cases on the left side. Again, these are the cases which were relied on in the Union of India versus Association for Democratic Reforms case. On the right hand side, these are the cases where it has been discussed. Again, through one visualization chart and the different colored arrows, we can see what the relation is between the cases. Again, everything is hyperlinked. If I just click on any of these, again, further case map would keep opening. If I want to check any of them out, I can just click on the citation and it would take me there. So this is about case map. If you have any questions regarding it, please feel free to write it in the chat window. Moving on, I'll just quickly show you interactive timeline. So for interactive timeline authority check for the Vishaka case, again, as you can see, the report is generated every day, as in it's constantly updated with all the new cases that come. This is showing all the cases that have, been either descended, relied upon, mentioned, that have mentioned Vishaka. So again, one, it's a court-wise visualization. Okay, so for Supreme Court, I can see that, okay, these were the cases. Okay, then I can see that, okay, which year was the case. So if I want to just see 2021, Supreme Court does not have a case yet. It has been discussed, but Madras High Court has a case, Anandi Simon versus the state of Tamil Nadu and others, where Vishaka was cited. It also shows you where it was cited, and you can read it right from the visualization. If you want to, check out the judgment further, the citation is hyperlinked. Just click on it. You can go to the judgment right from there. If you want a tabular list of the same, you can find it here. You open it, for most recent judgments on the proposition. Furthermore, all this information is not just passed on through these webinars or the training sessions. Everywhere explanations have been provided on how to use the feature or what it provides or how you can go about it. So I hope this was clear. Moving on, I'll just show the other features that we just discussed. So while we have discussed all the important para cited and para, people who viewed this judgment also opened the visualization tools, case map, and authority timeline. Now, how do you organize your research better on Manupatra? So first of all, I showed you the print replica, which is how do you get the court copy of the judgment from Manupatra. I click on this, you can see that, for the Juris website and the VLJR, we have the court copy of the judgment. I'll click on this, the court copy would come here, I can directly download it and use it. So again, no more opening court websites trying to find the judgment for the court copy if you're looking for it. Moving on, also you can directly print the document, download the document in PDF format with or without case note on Manupatra. If I had to directly email this judgment to someone, I'll just click on this. And from here, you can, as you can see, my email ID comes that, okay, from the ID that I've logged in with, from this ID, it would be sent. Whoever I want to send it with to, I can send it to, I can CC others, I can add in subject, I can add a message and the judgment is already, attached as a judgment. I click on send and it will be sent. Again, you can send it even to yourself if you're trying to organize your research or have it, in one place. Furthermore, if I want to download this in a Word doc, I can do it. Again, as I had explained the sticky note feature, if you want to add comments or highlight a part, I'll just enable this right now. And now if there's a particular section that I want to highlight, I'll just click here. I'll select whatever I want to highlight and it's highlighted. If I want to add a comment, I can click here. I can add a comment. You can download the document along with the highlighted bits and the sticky notes and the comments. And again, organizing your research in a soft copy in a digital form, no more post-its, getting lost, dropping here and there, none of that sort. Again, it makes it very easier to share, your research with anyone else. with your research associates, with your moot partners, all of that. So again, moving forward, these were all the features that we discussed in regarding to the judgment and the AI features that we offer you when you're running a proposition. We'll quickly revert back to the PPT and see what other features are there that you can use it to make your research better. So all these we have discussed. Moving on, the most common mistakes that you can make, or the biggest mistakes you can make as a legal professional, as a student, is citing an overruled judgment. We have a number of students here as well. So for them, especially in a moot, if you've cited an overruled judgment and you share your memorials and your opposition breaks it is a huge minus from your marks, from your proposition, from your moot arguments. So how do you go about finding whether a judgment has been overruled or not? So all you need to check is from the results page on Manupatra if there's a red flag mentioned next to the judgment name. Furthermore, you can also, if a judgment has been completely overruled, there would be a red flag there. But however, there are a lot of judgments where it hasn't been entirely overruled, but a part of it is over. So if you want to see that, a yellow flag would be there. Again, what do these flags just don't denote that, okay, this judgment has been overruled. How do you find where this judgment has been? You can find it by clicking on this red flag. It would take you directly to the judgment where the present judgment was over. Similarly for the yellow flag. Now we have a third kind of flag on Manupatra, which isn't for judgments, but which is for bare acts and statutes. So for blue flag, it appears against those acts which have been assented to by the President of India, but have yet not been enforced. So a lot of times you're aware that, if you're a lawyer or a legal professional, or as a law student, you'll say, okay, this bill has been passed, this act has been assented by the President, but it would be notified in parts, or it would be, notified later and enforced later, like the date of enforcement would come later. So all this information, how do you get? Either you keep running to Google and looking for news articles on which act has been there, or going through the government websites, or what you can do is just look for this blue flag next to the bare acts when you search on Manupatra, and you can know all this information. Moving on, further, what other statute and reading enhancements we provide on Manupatra? The first is brief facts. Now, again, I'll show you this on the website. But if you're looking at an act and you want to know, what the brief facts are, essentially, just to give you an idea on the act. Not just this, brief facts covers if there have been any amending acts regarding the same act. Again, hyperlink, you can check them out. Brief facts also covers, if there's a bill pending on the issue in the parliament, what the statement of objective is for the act. So all this information, if you had to look for manually or without this feature, you would have to keep running to Google, running to various search engines, looking for news articles, checking the court websites, checking the official government websites, which are never clear, and trying to look for this information. With here, in thus just this one feature, click on this one icon here and you'll get all this information. Furthermore, if there's a bill pending in the parliament on the act, this icon would be there. You click on it, it would take you to the bill that is pending. Especially in research, for research papers, or when you're writing scholarly articles, it is very, very useful, because that means your research is current and relevant. You're not missing out on any points. Third is, no act is ever in isolation. There are always delegated legislation, rules and regulations about the act, which you need to constantly refer to get the procedural aspect of it. Ideally, what you would do is either you would have your bare acts in hands and the rules and regulations opened. You would have to go through them and just to see which rule is applicable where and so on. From this feature, just next to the bare act, you have this icon. You can click on it. You can directly go to the rules and regulations. Next is comparative chart. Now, if we look at the Arbitration Act, one came in 1990, a revised version came in 1996. It changed a lot of things. It brought in a lot of new dynamics to the arbitration and conciliation alternate dispute resolution process in India. If you want to study the difference between the two, how do you do that? Now, this comparative act feature offers you all these, a section-wise analysis side by side in a tabular format. Again, everything is hyperlinked. If you want to read it further, you can click on read it there. So that's, again, a feature that we provide. The fifth feature, which is a statute, reading enhancement, is annotations. If you're going through an act, even before you go through the text, if you want to read on, what does a particular section stand for, or an explanation to the section, just click on this button and you'll get all the annotations on the sections of the act. Lastly, if you are practicing in, India is a diverse country, and if you need to read the act in a vernacular format in any other different language, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, you can just click on this and you can read the act in vernacular. So that's another feature that we offer. I'll quickly show you all of these on the Manupatra website to make it, to explain to you further how this actually operates. So for this, we'll open our Bear Act section. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have a Bear Act section. You can read center and state acts. You can either read Bear Acts by itself, or you can just read the rules and regulations by itself. From here, I'll just open the table of contents. First of all, I'll show you the blue flag, how it comes. So for that, I'll just open it chronologically. I'll go to this year. And as you can see, for all these acts, these have been passed by the parliament, assented to by the president, but have not yet been enforced. The Major Port Authorities Act and so on. Now, going back for all the features that I mentioned, we'll just open the acts in alphabetical order. So you can see that all the acts are covered. Now, as you can see, just for the first act available itself, Aadhaar Targeted Delivery of Financial and Other Subsidies, Benefits and Services Act 2016. If you want to read the act in vernacular, you can read it here. If you want to know the brief facts about the act, I'll just click on this. These are the brief facts that we covered, that is, meticulously prepared by our editorial and content team. You can see the statement of objective. You can see the date of assent. You can see whether the act is effective in full or partial. What are the list of amending acts, and if there's a bill pending regarding the same. Now, again, the idea that I keep repeating again and again is that all this information, if you were looking for it and you had to go and search for it, it would take you hours and hours of research. Going through multiple articles and stuff. Here, you just know that, okay, there's this one feature available. I can go here, I can click, I can get the information that I want. Again, if I want to look at an amending act, suppose Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment 2019, I don't have to go back and, again, go in the Bear Acts or look in the amending acts. I can just click it here and it's hyperlinked. I can directly go and read the act. So no multiple window shifting, no running the query again and again. Moving on. Rules and regulations, again, this icon is available here. I click on it, I go to the rules and regulations regarding the Aadhaar Targeted Delivery of Financial and Other Subsidies. I'll just quickly show you. So you can see the rules and regulations are segregated. If there's an order is mentioned here. Furthermore, you can print these, you can email these, you can save a copy of this directly from here. No, there's no hassle. There are no limitations if you're subscribed to Manupatra, if you're using Manupatra, on the access to research that is available. The last feature that is here is if you want to view the act in a single doc. So if you just want to open it, view the act in a single doc, print it, download it, add and do your own thing, you can do it from there. The last feature which isn't available for the Aadhaar Act, which is the comparative chart feature. So Aadhaar is, it's a fresh act and there haven't been any, repealing acts as such. So I'll just show you this for another act. So I'll just quickly show you for the Anti-Hijacking Act. As you can see, the Anti-Hijacking Act 2016, it the Anti-Hijacking Act of 1982 was repealed, and then the Anti-Hijacking Act of 2016 came. So if I want to look at a comparison of the two, I can just click on this. Abhishek, can you see the new window that has popped up?
No, ma'am. It's not
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay, so thank you so much. So as I just explained it to you, you can see the comparison of provisions of the Anti-Hijacking Act 2016 with the provisions of the Anti-Hijacking Act 1980. Again, it's a section-wise analysis, which sections have been omitted, where what has been added. If I want to compare definitions, I can just, again, these are all hyperlinked. I can click on them. I can compare definitions. I can compare provisions. So again, a very useful feature, because if you had to do it like other than that, you would have to open the act side by side, keep matching, keep seeing. Again, this is a very organized tabular format for the same. If you have any questions regarding this particular statute reading enhancements features on the website, please feel free to write it in the chat window and we'll take it later. Now, moving back, to the PPT. So the last feature that I want to discuss for today are the search and judge analytics, which is a Manupatra exclusive. Now, firstly, what does it do? So for search analytics feature provides you a visualization of the top 50 cases on the proposition that you run. Judge analytics provides you the kind of, for every particular judge, the judgments they have authored, where they have been cited in the court or judge they have cited. Advanced judge analytics goes a step further. It discusses, year-wise judgment of a judge, of an honorable judge, subject-wise judgments, which counsels appeared before, their judgment, disposition-wise, judgments pronounced, judgments they've cited, what citing references they used, and so on. Now, why is this relevant? Especially in today's climate, alternative dispute resolution is going to become stronger and stronger in the upcoming years. The retired judges from our courts, the honorable justices, they are the ones who go on to participate in these arbitrations more often than not. The choice of arbitrator lies with the parties. If you're a counsel, you need information whether a particular, judge, a particular honorable justice would be a right fit for your client or for the matter at hand. How do you get that? Manually, there is no way of knowing what their disposition is. But with this specific tool, with this AI tool, you can get all of that information in a visualization, perfectly arranged hyperlink format for all the information that you. So I'll quickly show you this, on the website, and then we can open the house of questions. And we can take all the questions that you've submitted quickly. So from here, from the top tab, the legal analytics tab is there. Once you just click on it, you can see the various analytics that we offer: search analytics, judge analytics, advanced. Since I had run the gender justice query, that query automatically pops up here. With search analytics, I'll just run this feature. As you can see, it creates a visualization of the top 50 cases on the topic. Again, these circles all denote a particular case. Which year did it come in? The size of the circle denotes how many times it has been cited. Furthermore, if you want to read the results in a tabular format, again, Vishaka is the most relevant one. Other cases you want to read on the same topic, all top 50 cases, you can get it in a tabular list. All the information that is covered has been explained. And again, a visualization tool where you don't have to lead from a judgment. You can lead from a proposition and get, visualized results. Furthermore, next I would discuss judge analytics. So judge analytics is the preliminary form. Again, it gives you a tabular list of all the judges, number of judgments written, number of judgments they cited in. We'll see for, Honorable Justice Sikri. For him, all the information that is provided. So it gives you a list of all the judgments he's authored, all the judgments he's been cited, he has cited, which court or judge he cited, court-wise details, which are the ones that he cites, which judges has he cited. Again, you can see how many times he has been cited, what percentage. If you want to search something within the results of the judgment that he has authored, which is actually the functional feature if you're looking for the arbitration angle that I just explained. So for that, all I need to do is write it here, run the query, and I'll see what judgments has he given on the same proposition. Trying to understand, the kind of perspective that he has on these kinds of cases or these kinds of propositions. Okay. Advanced judge analytics goes a step further. How I'll just show you. So in the same, I'll just do it for Justice Secretary again. Wait for a second for it to load. Again, these features have been, powered by legal technology. They've used all the data that is available on the website, all the judgments, all the documents, everything, and then provided you in a format which is readable, which is actually relevant, and the information that you can, in a usable format. So you can see an year-wise pronouncement timeline where he was a part of the bench with judgments he authored. Furthermore, subject-wise, what judgments he pronounced, counsels who appeared before him. Now, as you can see, while the legend has been provided here, you just don't have to see it in a graphical form. You can flip it and you can see it in a tabular form. If I want to see all the criminal cases that he has pronounced, I just need to click here. I'll see all the criminal cases that he has provided. Furthermore, if I want to see the counsels that have appeared before the judgment, if I want to see his disposition-wise, judgments he's pronounced, where he's allowed the appeal, where he has disposed it off, judges that he has cited, all this information in a visual and a grid format, I can, easily get here. Everything is hyperlinked. All the information that I need, I can get it from you. So just quickly reverting back to the PPT, we'll just end this and then we can take all the questions that have come. So first of all, I hope this webinar was helpful. Legal research can be, faster than the way we are used to now. It can be more efficient. It can be more easy. All you need to have is a comprehensive database and available research tools and the knowledge on how to use them to their maximum potential. Once you have, access to this, your legal research becomes extremely simple, extremely fast. So with this, we would conclude the session, and what now we'll just take on all the questions that have come in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful session. So most of the queries, I think we took, like in the session, we took care of them, but some of them are asking for some of these queries, like some of the features to be repeated again. So
Sure,
one,
absolutely.
yes, one of them is important para. So if you
Okay.
can please show them important para again. And I think authority timeline is also one of the features that I'd like to go through again.
Okay, so I'll just show it once again. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just quickly revert back to Manupatra. So now the important para feature again. With this, I'll show you, a simpler way to how to use it. Now I'd already opened Vishaka in my previous search. I don't have to go and run that search again, or I'd run the gender justice proposition search. I'll just click here. I'll go to my search history. I'll click here, and the same query that I had run would appear. Now I've already opened this judgment. I've already been through. So if I'm looking for, repeated queries, the text has already been turned to blue. So as you can see, you automatically have a recall that you have already gone through this judgment. You don't need to open it again. Little things, little enhancements that we provide. Now, once I've opened this judgment, I'll just quickly show important para once again. You can access important para from here. once you click on this, a fresh window would appear. Okay, so what happens is that the algorithm decides, okay, which judgments from this particular incumbent judgment that you're looking at are important. How does it decide that? It decides that by seeing which judgment, which paragraphs have been cited the most. Now, this particular paragraph, the International Convention's norms, I'll just click on this so that we can read the paragraph. This is the one which has been cited twice for. Now I go through the paragraph, I see that, okay, it is relevant to my proposition and I can use it. But, I can cite further, or I can add more, footnotes to it. I can add more citations where it has been. So these are the two cases which, mention it again. One is Charu Khurana, one is the state of Bengal versus Kesuram industry. I'll just click on the one that I want to read. Again, I don't have to open, a fresh window or search for the judgment name. I'll find that judgment exactly right here. I can read the judgment. All of this is available in the same window. That's the kind of access that, I want to communicate, that we wanted to communicate, that if you use this feature, every information that you need, you have it. Furthermore, if you want to filter by keyword, if you just want to see, okay, which keyword are you looking for, you can find it here. If you want to, all the other information that you find regarding a particular judgment, you can find it with this one particular. The next that I'll show is the interactive authority check timeline, interactive timeline authority check. So I'll just reshare. So now you can see the authority check report.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, as you can see, what authority check does is, one, it is updated every day. If you want to see what are the most recent judgments, you can see here. Again, everything is hyperlinked, everything is available. What specifically it does, it shows you where the case has been cited further in a visualized format, but also which is court-wise. So Supreme Court has cited in these many cases. The size of the circle denotes how many times that particular case was mentioned, discussed, Furthermore, for all the other cases also you get it, not just case-wise, but also year-wise. Now, suppose I want to see that in 2021, where was Vichaka cited? In the Bombay High Court. I go here, I can see that, okay, is in 2021, has it been cited? Where it has been cited? And, I can just click on that, I can see that, okay, this is the case it has been cited. This is the case note. This is the paragraph where it has been cited. Again, the citation is hyperlinked. I can click on it and I can, read it further. It's very wonderful to see that, the features have generated so much interest. So how about we just take a few quick polls on, how, like what you grasp and how well you understood what we just, all the features that we went through. So I'll just launch a few polls and you can just, enter your options that you just launch this poll.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just, yes, sir.
One thing more I want to plug in. A lot of questions are relating to how to use Manu search, use Boolean search. I think we need to do a separate session, or what you can do is just quickly show them that this is the different kind of searches available. But I think that will require a separate session. So we'll ask.
Definitely, sir. We'll do a separate session and we'll reach out to the participants whenever we do that, so that they can sign up and attend, those sessions. So, like a lot of you are voting, I'll just read the question once. So, if I'm reading a case and I want to see the relevant paragraph in other cases where the current case has been cited, which feature of the following features would you click? So, majority of you have, entered your votes. I'll just wait for 2 more minutes, like a minute more, and then we can end the polling. So I'll just end the polling now. So majority is correct. Empara is the one that shows you paragraph wise where the judgment has been cited in future. Cited in para comes a very close second, because again, that also offers the same feature, but this is more of a chronological tabular format of the same. Para is exactly that. Here, the prime focus is the paragraph, and you can read it in one minute. In the other cases that it has been cited to, that's where it hits. So I hope that both the features and were clear. Now we'll just launch the next poll. Which visualization tool allows you to get the detail whether the case is overruled, dissented, affirmed, relied on, distinguished, or just mentioned in future cases.
Ma'am, one thing more I'd like to plug in. So we have a
Yes.
very good YouTube channel. So all these features, we have explained them there. So if you have a query relating to a particular feature, you can go back to our YouTube channel on Manupatra and you will be able to see that. I'm sharing that link in the chat window also. So if you want to access that, you'll be able to.
All these features, like as Sir pointed out, we have explained it to them in the same way that we did here, and also shown you a relevant query and how to run it. So both the parts are covered, and these are very short, 3-minute, 4-minute videos. So if you need to, relook at any feature, you can just go to our channel and look at it there. I'll just close the polling now and launch the results. So again, like majority are correct. So case map shows you, the exact treatment of the cases using a visualization tool, whether it was overruled, dissented, affirmed, relied on, all these by using those colored arrows. Authority timeline does not show you the treatment of the cases per se. It is again similar, but the treatment isn't given there. If you want to look at the treatment, you have to use case map. So again, I hope that distinction was clear. We'll just go through two more polls on the basis of what we discussed today, and then we can take the remaining questions.
Again, another plugin. So we have most of these things we circulate in our LinkedIn, Instagram, and we have like Facebook page also. So if you'll join us there, you'll be able to again view them again.
Absolutely. We make regular posts, and if you have any query about them, you can write to us there as well. And we keep highlighting what the features are. Also about these events that we keep happening, especially in the pandemic. The situation outside is very grim. So how do we make the best of what we have, and especially use this really hard time to the best extent possible? I get it; it's a paradox, but still. So all that information, you can get it on our social pages. I'll just end the polling right now. So which tool helps you essentially to analyze the number of judgments written by each judge and how many times they are cited by? So this particular information on the number of judgments and how many times they're cited by is provided more in judge analytics. That's the prime focus there. In advanced judge analytics, you can see in further detail, the kind of disposition they had, what the nitty-gritties of the judgments that they have discussed, trying to understand their disposition regarding a particular industry, regarding a particular matter. So again, thank you so much for chiming in your polls. Just the last poll, and then we'll finish off with the questions there. I've just gone through all the questions that have come up, sir. And definitely there are a lot of questions about how to search on Manupatra, what our different search interfaces are. So we'll, look at doing another session just primarily on search.
Yes, how to use Boolean search, all those kind of things.
All those
So
kind
we
of
can have another session on that one. Also, I'm sharing one link here. So if you want to use that as a form, give us a feedback and what is the next thing that you're looking forward to from Manupatra? Any suggestions you can give in that one? One more thing, like if there is a subscription related query, so many students are writing in that our college has subscribed, how can we access, or that kind of query, please write to us at contact@manupatra.com. So we will give you a prompt reply from there. And I'm just writing that also in the chat window. Contact@manupatra.com for any subscription related query, any suggestion also, if you might have any point in time, you can just write to us.
Okay, so I'll just share the results for this.
Right.
Again, 61% absolutely correct. One of the prime features that we have is that everything is hyperlinked and you don't have to ever, run a research query again and again and again. So we hope that this session was helpful for everyone and that all of us took something from this session. Again, Avesh sir has shared the link for the feedback form. Please fill it up. In that, we have provided you an option of suggesting what further you want to see from us, what future webinars you would like to see, what else would you like to see, what discussions you would like to have with us. So please feel free to do it. Akansha has asked, is this available for watching again elsewhere? Yes, we have done a YouTube live parallel on our YouTube channel, and there these webinars are again free access. You can go and revisit it again.
I'm sharing again our YouTube link, so you can again access from there.
Okay. So if there are any last minute queries or questions that you have, please feel free to write it in the chat window. Please, again, a small request, fill the feedback form, whatever you took away from this session. And thank you so much for participating.
And
we'll
hopefully
see
you will join us again in the next session, which will be on the keywords and these kind of things.
on the keywords and the search interfaces. We'll definitely have that. And we hope to see you.
Thank you, Soumya ma'am. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much.